Alright, let's try that again. Is that working? Hello and welcome to this take 2 on my video to discuss Unity and the Unity game engine. And so, where I left off last time before it cut me off was, I think I just discussed MVC and MVVM, just the fact that they could potentially fight against game engines. So, this time, to continue on, we're discussing the component-based design. So, Unity uses what is known as component-based design for its game engine. So, the design is separated into components which can be reused. So this is a very effective and efficient way of creating a game. So, for instance, you can create a script component which can be attached to one of the models, but not just one model, it can be attached to a multitude of models. This allows for a lot of reusability, especially code reusability, which makes for a more efficient, effective game design. So this is the final thing of our software platform analysis, and it's a very good part of it. And so onto the advantages. So yeah, it's easy to use. So I mentioned before about the component design. This makes for an easy to use game engine. Reusing components, and basically it uses a drag and drop feature, which is very intuitive when I think about it. It also uses C#, so between the two of them, which is quite an easy programming language to learn, or one of the easier ones. So between two of these, it makes for quite a good game engine for newer game developers to learn on. So these are huge advantages to learning Unity. It's also an affordable platform to use. So it's free to up to a certain yearly profit. I think it's about 100 grand. So this makes it available to game developers who would otherwise not be able to use it. I know, for instance, take me for instance, I couldn't use it if it was pay to use or buy it before I can use it. So the fact that it's free like that to create games up to a certain profit point is a huge boon for Unity. It's also multi-platform, so it's compatible with a large range of other programs, other platforms, other frameworks. So this allows it to be quite a flexible game engine as a result, which is why it has a good advantage. And for the last advantage, tutorials and learning materials. So I suspect this is largely due in part to the length of time Unity has been out on the market for, but there is a vast range of tutorials and learning materials available, which is really good for those who want to learn to create games, or even learn to use a new feature or new area of Unity. As opposed to, let's say, Unreal Engine, which I looked at for a little bit. It has far less tutorials and materials available, so it makes it quite a bit trickier to learn to use. So the fact that there's so many tutorials and materials available for Unity is a huge advantage. So that is the advantages. Moving on to the disadvantages. So Unity's pretty good in the 2D area, however, it is, as opposed to other 2D game engines, Unity is considered to be a bit harder and less intuitive to use the 2D game engine to make 2D games. And also one other thing that came out quite a bit is the fact that a lot of users of Unity don't like the fact that the 2D and 3D aspects of the editor are sort of interlinked. They would prefer them to be in separate sections of Unity, but not a huge disadvantage. But yeah, that's what a lot of people seem to find an issue with the 2D side of things. Terrain engine and movie textures. I'm not too certain about movie textures, as I haven't really looked into use that myself, but it's considered to be a bit of a weakness for Unity. They're not, the movie textures are. Terrain engine though, I can definitely confirm, because when I first started creating my game, I was looking to use for the ground a terrain However, I found it very unintuitive, very tricky to use. It wasn't, and it's almost a little bit buggy in some ways. And so I sort of moved on to using planes instead for my ground, which worked just as well, and I found it a lot easier to use. So definitely terrain engine is a weakness, a disadvantage of Unity. And that, just for everyone I saw who listed disadvantages of Unity, mentioned the terrain engine. So it's obviously a common problem. Another disadvantage is merging. So this was between two people wanting to work on the same Unity file. If they did that, it would corrupt the file. Unity doesn't allow two users to work on the same file. One person's got to work on it, save the progress, and then the next person can take over. So that's considered by and large to be a bit of a disadvantage. The fourth one is small game resources. So Unity can be quite expensive, quite heavy on the computing power, the computing resources. It's not so bad on the large games, but on the smaller games developed by Unity, it is considered to be quite an issue. Small games, can be quite resource heavy. So what came out of that was that Unity could be potentially better for slightly larger games. And the final one, and this is something I've encountered myself, so I can confirm, feature documentation can be a bit out of date. For instance, some of it's a year old, and in that time features have been changed or updated in Unity, and the documentation hasn't changed with it. So, for instance, when I was first learning to use Unity, I was looking at some of the documentation to learn how to use certain areas, and I was getting a bit confused because what they're saying in the documentation wasn't lining up with the current version of Unity, and the reason for this was that the documentation was out of date. So this can be a big disadvantage with Unity. That's the end of the disadvantages and this video. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.